It's bad enough. Brandon Nimmo left and demanded trade for political reasons. It's bad enough we lost out on Edwin Diaz because Skinflint Stearns doesn't want to pay an additional $3 to $4 million to keep him around. Oh, but this has become the fucking cardinal sin for this cold-hearted, skinflint piece of shit that he is. For those who don't recall, yesterday it was announced that Pete Alonso has left the New York Mets for a 5-year, $155 million contract to go play in Baltimore. This is why Stearns is a cancer. His unwillingness to adapt or spend big on both money and years. If it was me in that position, I would have said 4 years, $200 million just to keep Pete around, and 3 years, $75 million for Edwin. And Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor, not happy about it. And keep in mind, Soto's got an opt-out after year 5. And it gets even worse, folks. I just found out one of the best free agent pitchers is now off the board. That in question being former San Diego Padres pitcher Robert Suarez. He just signed a 3-year, $45 million deal with Atlanta. This is the problem with you, Stearns. You're you never adapt. You constantly try to piecemeal a rotation together. And Cohen, you're guilty of this too. Instead of realizing this guy is sabotaging you and doubling down on the sabotage by being such a fucking skinflint, you do nothing to fire his fucking ass. Now you've got to put this bastard under the gun. And if this team tanks in the 2026 season, at the course of trajectory, that's where it looks like it's going, even with Soto still around for the next few years, and with Lindor still around for the next few years, unless Stearns once again decides to go, fuck you to Cohen, and ship Lindor out in a trade for his bullshit image instead over Cohen's, then that's when you need to put the bullet in his fucking skull. I'm sorry for being this hot-headed and blunt, but I can't sugarcoat how angry I am about this. If the Red Lantern ring toy, that costume piece I had, was real and not just a prop to slip on my ring finger, I'd be flying my ass out to New York City and ripping David Stearns to pieces right now, making him feel the full fury of my rage, of my hatred towards him, of my anger at him. Because instead of choosing to raise the bar to pay up the money, he doubles down on frugality and stupidity. When the 2026 season's over, cut his fucking head off, Cohen. He sabotaged your image of what you want this team to be. Instead of a contender, more than likely in 2026, it's going to be a fucking joke. And then you're going to have to find someone who can pay the big bucks or be willing to show the big bucks just to get the guys that were lost back. I could see Citi Field being barely even half full this year out of a full-blown boycott against Stearns. Heck, I could see fans wanting to kill him. Or charging down into his suite, breaking down the door, beating the shit out of him, tying him up, and burning him at the stake right in front of the gates of Citi Field. And I wouldn't blame them, though I will not get involved in it. Because of how fucking stupid he is, constantly doubling down on small market tactics in a large market venue. The math does not fucking add up! Or better yet, you guilt trip his ass and force him to commit seppuku. I mean, and we have him, and the fan base has him commit seppuku. What's that, you ask? It's ritualistic samurai suicide, where the person who commits a crime against his superiors or dishonors his superiors gets down on his knees, takes a katana or a tanto, whichever sword you prefer, starts right about here with the blade, stabs it through, and it does a big diagonal cut until their entrails fall out. That's what I'm thinking now that Alonso's gone. That any and all costs next season, regardless if the Mets get into the postseason or not. And again, at the rate it's going, they're more likely not going to make it. I mean, they're probably not. Low Mets 2026 edition on its way, and we haven't even gotten to the regular season yet. The point is, enough is enough with this bastard. This short-sighted skinflint who deserves to die, as far as I'm concerned. Sure, I hold nothing against Nimmo for leaving, for demanding a trade to Texas. He got spooked with the whole Mondami election. But then again, New York City is a socialist shithole anyway. Diaz wanting to play on a winner in Chavez Ravine? I'm miffed, but I get it. I'm pissed, but I get it. But not even bothering to give your top tier player, your franchise all-time home run king, any fucking offer whatsoever because he's not going to go for your 3-year window. Fucking bullshit. That's what it is. Pure, unmitigated, grade A fucking bullshit. And you have a chance, and you're flashing that bogus smile saying everything's fine, Stearns. No, you just destroy it for your own selfish ambitions. This is why people wanted the Wilpons gone. Skinflints like you who try to force small market tactics, who try to moneyball their way through situations, end up being the biggest cancers that baseball needs to desperately cut. Who's next to go off the board? Tarek Skubal? Emmanuel Clase? Oh, wait, I forgot. Clase's barred for a year for the gambling scandal he got caught up in. Kyle Tucker? Cody Bellinger? Oh, sure. I wouldn't mind re-signing Tyler Rogers for another year or two. He was at least efficient enough as a middle reliever. But you've let Ryan Helsley go to Baltimore. Didn't have an issue with that. Cedric Mullins going to Pittsburgh. Fine by me. But you have a piecemeal bullpen that you don't want to address. A rotation that's going to be have three rookies you're going to have to try to train and discipline. Clay Holmes as a starter again. And you're trying to ship out Pearson and Senga in trades. Why is it that so many GMs, coaches, and owners who find themselves under the gun of a firing threat, instead of placating to the fan base and adapting or doing what is right by pleasing the people, instead double down on their fucking stubbornness and end up with a bullet that's called a pink slip in their fucking skulls? Why is this? Sheesh, maybe Papa Grassi was right and I do look and sound like a fucking axe murderer. Just fucking insane that we have to deal with a selfish skinflint as a GM. And a grade A narcissist of a skinflint to boot. What worked in Milwaukee does not work in New York City, Stearns. You stubborn, skinflinted, metal-minded, tunnel vision, double down, motherfucking son of a bitch. Link for anyone who does have the balls to want to call in right here. And Daniel, not in a good mood right now. Yeah, she doesn't care for baseball. I don't think she'd want to come on. Having said that, what I want for Christmas next year is David Stearns out of the Mets front office with a noose or with a hangman's noose around his neck or his head affixed to a stake. And then when he finally goes, he gets sent to the ninth circle of hell for betraying his benefactors. Frozen in the depths of Cocytus or Cocytus, depending on how you want to pronounce it. The lake that forms at the base of the circle of traitors. When you combine the great rivers of hell, the Acheron, the Styx, and the Phlegethon. Because at best, that bastard's getting thrown into the fourth circle for his greed and his unwillingness to spend more than he wants. In that case, he'd basically be running, pushing a boulder and crashing into someone asking, "Why did you waste?" And they'll answer back saying, "Why did you hoard?" I mean, also bad enough you lost 2 of your coaches to Atlanta. I mean, sure, Jeremy Hefner I could live with getting rid of. A lot of people have been calling for his head for years. But Anthony Richardson, the guy who turned your whole hitting core into a bunch of speed demons, you let him walk? You didn't bother to offer him a new contract? This is Stearns' his biggest character flaw. What we saw with these 3 players, as well as those coaches, really scream about Stearns' biggest character flaws. He's dishonest, he lacks integrity, and possesses no self-awareness, He possesses no self-awareness, alienating those around him, and of course, his inability to hold himself fucking accountable for his fuck-ups. It's just so frustrating with this team, with this front office. Wilpons weren't unbearable skinflint owners who need their guts pumped full of lead. Stevie Cohen, there are consequences for turning a blind eye to skinflints because they'll sabotage you. Real consequences. I'm ready to destroy you, Stearns. Because you are fucking despicable. You're rotten to the core and a coward. Yeah, like Cohen ever asked Bonilla out of retirement. Fuck no. Rumors of Jason Bay coming back. He was a piece of shit from 2010 to 2012. The 3 years we had him then, I would rather kill Stearns than bring Bay back. Awful coaching you could call my basketball counterpart when he blows his stack. We'll say the owners ruin the NBA. And that's partially true. But in my case, I say GMs ruin MLB. Excuse me a minute. Since he and I had never crossed paths. I am begging someone to please hit the damn link in the chat. I mean, seriously, I am sitting here on my fucking ass waiting for someone to come in, hit the link, and call in and give me their thoughts. Nick Torradillo, you're on the air.
What's up? That's Nick Teodoro. What's going on,
Theodore,
man?
whatever.
All
Your
good.
thoughts on what just happened? Do you agree with
With
what I said about calling Stearns out as a sabotaging skinflint?
hold on 1 second. Sorry, got a connection issue. So say that again.
Do you agree with me about Stearns being nothing more than a sabotaging, self-indulgent, self-serving skinflint?
It's been a rough couple of days for sure. Listen, I'm not gonna get too high or too low. I'm upset, just like you are, because Alonso's a homegrown Met. So it would have been nice to see him. Did he get four? No, he's not at 400 home runs, right? Like, but he could have got 400 as a
No,
Met.
he would have gotten 300 if he stayed this year, in this coming year.
Yeah, and I still think I think beyond that he's still going to get probably 400 in his career by the end of it. So it would have been nice to have a homegrown guy do that, and I think it's worth the money alone. But so it's disappointing. I don't know. And then I heard conflicting things that whether or not he got a report or not, he got an offer or not.
He never did from the Mets.
Yeah, so that's disheartening, right? Like, but I'm gonna wait till the end of the offseason to see what this whole final plan is and what the team ends up being, and then see into the regular season what happens. Because I've been surprised before, like what was it, a couple years ago with the Dodgers, not Dodgers, the Diamondbacks getting the World Series. There's teams that on paper you don't think are gonna do anything and
Well, what was the reason
overperform.
we brought Soto in? So he could be behind Alonso and be protected. Now that protection's gone, and the weight of the team is going to be on Soto's shoulders. And with rumors that he's now playing, that stupid ass skinflint is playing a shop Lindor around. And I already mentioned we can't get Robert Suarez. He just signed a 3-year contract with Atlanta.
Yeah, but so I'm wondering if he's. I mean, how much? I guess we'll see at the end of the year. I mean, I was really surprised with the Devin Williams contract because him. I don't know if he's as effective as a closer as he would have been like a dominant eighth inning guy in front of Diaz. But um, yeah, I want to see where he allocates some of this money. Like, are they shedding payroll? And which, I mean, you're allowed. You can do that and then
Put it this way, Nick.
reallocate.
I'll put it like this, Nick. Nimmo demanding a trade to Texas, in my view, is purely more because of Nimmo's political view, because he didn't want to
Mm,
deal with a scumbag like Mandami. I didn't have an issue with that.
okay.
Know what I mean?
Mm.
With Diaz, the fact that Stearns doesn't have the balls to be willing to pay up another $4 million to match, to surpass the Dodger payment. It's bad enough. But you know what makes that 3-year, $69 million contract he got from the Dodgers worse? More than half of it, the Mets are going to have to pay up. Because there were still 2 years plus the opt-out on the Met contract.
So they still have to pay him on the even though he opted out?
Because there were 2 years left on that Met contract, yes. And that's about 38 of the $69 million.
But that's interesting because, like, isn't it normally like player option, team option, like things like that? So this year when he got out of that contract, like, who made him a free agent? Was it was the Met organization that did that? Or Diaz that opted out?
I think it was the Diaz opted out.
Okay, so because that's what I'm like. It's interesting. Like, one second, because I don't know the finance, like baseball, as much as I do football. The finances, like, how much of that, like, it's legitimately known because let's say he signs like a 7-year deal, but you opt out in year whatever 5. In most cases, you don't. The team, because you become a free agent, you're now resetting your contract in the market. So year 6 and 7 of your original deal are voided anyway because now you're a free agent with a new deal.
Fair enough. And then the fact he doesn't bother making Alonso an offer that doesn't go beyond 3 years. It's like Stearns is so tunnel vision on keeping 3-year contracts.
That's fair. Well, so the counterpoint to that is, so hear me out on this. There's a lot. Think about how many teams, even great teams, right? Like dynasties, like they turn over so much talent in that time frame that 3-year deals, I honestly actually fully believe in 3. I don't think, and even when teams sign, you name it, the sport, 5, 7, 10-year deals, I don't even think to some extent a lot of these are worth that, because look at Diaz, to your point, right? There's a lot of void contracts and opt-out years in those deals that by year, let's just say 3 in a 5-year deal, year 5 in a 7-year deal, year 7 in a 10-year deal, there's opt-out options there that I think can save the team money at certain points in time. So I don't know. It's interesting. That's why I think now, and actually hearing some of what you're saying with the Lindor stuff, which would really upset me, and my wife loves Lindor. That's her favorite Met player.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she'd break out a Tommy gun and shoot Stearns with it.
I don't think she'd do that, but like I wonder if they're like, let's just say the payroll, I don't know what it's at right now. But
the other thing I can think of is that David Stearns is Mr. No Fun. Why do you think he didn't re-sign Jose Iglesias? Kill the momentum. Why do you think he doesn't want to he never wanted to re-sign Alonso? Because Alonso was not his guy. He was too fun to have in the dugout.
Well, it's just not, I think your first point is 100%. I don't know whether or not he's not his guy, and he's building his organization however he wants to. And Cohen, from everything that I've read and heard, like Stearns is his guy, so he's going to give him, I think, not right or wrong, and let's wait and see, but he might be viewed, not that he's going to be, but viewed by Cohen as his cashman, his GM for the next 20 years that he can work with,
I would rather that not happen, because once the Mets begin to tank, and I think it's going to start this year, he's going to realize, oh shit, this guy's doing me more harm than good. I got to cut him as soon as possible. The only reason Cashman is sticking around, sticks around with has stuck around with the Yankees as long as he has, is because at the very least he has Boone put together a team that can stay above 500. The Mets have that inconsistency in their track record.
No, true. How much of that though is coaching and management? Like, if you have good manager, like Boone's not that he's great, but he's solid enough to keep it. Yeah.
Whereas Mendoza is someone who should be put on suicide watch if he suffered from such levels of manic depression. they screwed the pooch that badly last season.
Well, the thing with Mendoza is maybe he just got like red hot at the right time. What was it, a couple years ago, and just literally benefited off of the second half of that season.
Yeah, but near the end of the first half of last year, what'd he do? Recklessly gamble away games on bad pitching decisions.
No, agreed. But that's what I'm saying. Is like maybe he. Oh, who was a great example? Brian Dable. Like maybe he had a Brian Dable like year, like a first year for Brian Dable with the Giants versus Mendoza. Maybe he just overachieved with the team that year, and he got lucky and
well, here's the
dialed
thing.
in the right buttons, and that's where he's at. And now here we are 3 years later, right?
Well, here's the thing. Dable in 22-23, the team was hot in the first half and fell off the cliff in the second half. With Mendoza in 24, the pattern was swapped.
Right. So he got, but that's what I'm saying, is like he's benefiting off of, he got hot, like he had a playoff run and he got hot at the right time for a team that no one thought would be there. And I think Stearns ran that back last year as the GM to that team, and like all right, let me try and tweak it and see if it's right, and I can get this over the hump.
And all of his moves backfired.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Like, and yeah, I don't know where this team is going to be at.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the only move that did work was signing Tyler Rogers.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about him.
He's a side armor finesse pitcher. He was with the Giants last season before the deadline.
Bullpen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like same thing with even Williams. Like I didn't love him as a closer, but it looks like that's possibly what he's going to be. But I still believe that it's offense and bullpen that's going to actually win the World Series. Like give me a quality starter, like a 6-inning starting pitching staff that can give me solid 6 innings, and a bullpen that can get me those last 9 outs. I think that's where the MLB is at.
Which, as far as I see, this lineup won't be when you consider you have a manager who is too quick to pull his starters out when they're hot and leaves them in too long when they get cold, and puts pitchers in at their worst analytical situations. Look at what happened with Reed Garrett and Gregory Soto last year. Look at what happened with Stanek and Helsley.
No, I hear you. I mean,
and not to mention overuse of that bullpen the bullpen led to about 6 bullpen arms going under the knife.
That's a fair point. I mean, again, you need a lot of pitching arms. You need a lot of that. So I don't know. I still think though, regardless, like the last 3 innings of the game, right, are still so boring.
77.
What's up, Joey? I don't know. I still think there's some level, and honestly, I don't care about if like the days of like the Noah Syndergaard, Matt Harvey's like strikeout 10 over 6 innings, 7 innings. I don't care about that. Like, give me a ground ball pitcher like the old school Mike Hampton back in the day, and like give me someone like that'll give me 6 innings, and I think that'll win a World Series. Like, give me 5 starters that can do that, and a dominant bullpen with a solid offense, and that wins a World Series.
As far as I'm concerned, the only one we've got right now that can do that is Nolan McLean.
What's the lineup actually look like right now? Like, Simeon is the 3-hole hitter, or
he'd probably be like bottom of the bullpen of the lineup at best, and I think that's where he should be because he's going to be in his second baseman. I mean, you probably have Lindor lead off, then Soto in the 2 at worst. At best, you have him in the 3. Then whatever schmuck you can get to play left field, whoever
is McNeil. So McNeil's still on the team, right? We haven't got rid of him yet.
And I've heard rumors they want him to play first base. Yeah, good luck with that with a guy who hasn't adapted to the new no-shift rules.
Well, I also don't want, like, and this is my big thing at both corner infield positions, and maybe to some extent the corner outfield.
They're going to have Beatty do the majority of third base.
I want someone that's going to hit hopefully 25 plus home runs at first base at least. And third base, like I want 50 home runs out of those two positions. And like the corner outfield, I go back and forth yet on like what it is, because I think you can get speed and a lot more out of that. But that's what I want at it. Like for me, the corner infield positions need to generate close to 50 home runs, 50 to 60 or 50 to whatever, 75 home runs, and in the upwards of probably 185 RBIs.
Yeah.
Because you could stick some people there. Like, sorry to cut you off, but like you could stick people there that are defensively deficient and get a lot of production. And at the end of the day, it's about scoring runs. Like Miguel Cabrera over the years. Like I'm just throwing back like random names of guys like that were terrible. Like Jim Thome was awful, but he hit 40 home runs every year. It seemed like stuff like that. Like players like that weren't really great, but defensively, I think that's what I want out of the corner infield.
I've heard rumors now they're trying to get Wilson Contreras from St. Louis.
Isn't he? He's a catcher?
Well, he plays first base from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
understand that.
Maybe they're platooning it. At the end of the day, if you get those numbers out of two people, it's still,
But I'm still at the point of saying that with Stearns, for me, he's under the gun. I don't care what Cohen says. I've got him lined up for a shot, and he's the target in my fucking crosshairs.
Not physically, but I hear you're saying that you're upset. Like he needs to absolutely prove something to you. I understand that, but wait till I think let's not get too ahead of ourselves, like with having a team that's like maybe notable, right? Like we know players that are maybe more notable because they're all stars and star players. Like this guy is hopefully building a team that maybe have lesser names, but guys that play their role. And at the end of the season, like the off season, and a month from now, maybe, or whatever it is, 2 months from now, we'll see a completely different lineup than what we're expecting. I don't know. Baseball's changed so much the last.
And if the Dodgers get a three-peat, we're getting a lockout until we get a salary cap.
I don't know. Trust me, I don't want to see the Dodgers win, but if you make the right decisions, like it's kind of because yeah. Who else? Yeah, I saw that. And I was just like, anybody else but the Dodgers? Like, couldn't you go to like San Diego or Chicago or some stupid team?
What Guggenheim GBM, Guggenheim Baseball Management, and Mark Walter, and to a lesser extent Magic Johnson, and Stan Kasten, and Tom Boley do with the Dodgers is small, large market ball done right, even if deferring the money on the contracts to guys like Yamamoto, Sasaki, Otani, etc., should be rendered illegal.
Yeah, they're unfortunately they're doing what the New York Yankees of the early 2000s and like late 2000s did with like all those free agents that they used to sign, like when it was Giambi, like they brought in A-Rod, Sheffield, like all those guys, and like Kevin Brown, even though he was terrible for them. Like they're doing the same things, but they're making the smart decisions. And like I can't, it's shitty. It feels shitty, but you like I can't crap on them. Like one of our callers on our show, Steven, is a huge Dodger fan, and I'm like, I can't crap on them because they're making the right decisions. Like you're bringing in the top arguably the top closer in baseball, one of the top 5 closers in baseball, to the World Series champions that already have 3, right? 2 to 3 solid starting pitchers.
Yeah. You had one of
Like
your
that.
legacy players right off into the sunset after the World Series.
Who retired? Who was that?
Kershaw.
Oh, he did. He did. Yeah, like, and they still have that offense. Like, I know they're getting up there, like, but that's the thing. Like, so Betts didn't retire,
And
right?
you have still one of the best two-way players in the game with Ohtani.
Oh yeah, no, he's an MVP. But like, he's the top player in the game, arguably the top player in the game. You have Mookie Betts, a former MVP, and then but here's the thing: like Betts, Freddie Freeman, they invested in, even though that contract's eventually going to be a terrible deal, right? But like,
how long is he with the Dodgers? I mean, I know he's signing like what, 22?
Yeah, I felt like it was. I don't know. I can't. But it was a big deal. But like, still, like the point still stands because like his contract, even with like a year left or 2 years left, or whatever it is, I feel like the Dodgers are going to find like they're smart enough to understand and play ahead of the market to the sense of like I don't know, like I wouldn't have been shocked if the Dodgers signed Pete Alonso instead of the Orioles. Like I could have totally seen that happening. Them being like, all right, be proactive and let's sign Alonso and get that and bridge the production, right? Like of that 30 home runs that 25, 30 home runs that Freeman gets. And then as he drops off, you have Alonso picking it up and then sign somebody else. It's exactly how you should play it in big markets.
And here's the thing with Alonso. Even though the Orioles are going to get a power bat, what good is that when your pitching core is dog shit and your team was plagued by injuries last year?
No, it's true. Yeah, you need to get out. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But be patient, Mets. Be patient. Be patient.
I'm also pissed that we let Anton Richardson go to Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I'm not familiar with him as much.
First base coach.
Oh. Yeah, dude, that's bumming.
I mean, I wasn't opposed to Hefner heading down to Atlanta. Let's see what he can
him.
do.
I do remember. Yeah, I'm a little worried about him because I liked him. He's always good.
I'm more curious with. Let's see what he'll do with. Hold on, my sister just sent me a text. Will I be home 11:30? Yes. 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 Why? Question mark. If she's finally bringing the bar stools down, that's fine.
Nice.
And she has some bar stools. She's basically giving to me as an early Christmas present because her new home doesn't have a bar set up in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, Merry Christmas to you on that end.
Anyway, the reason I wasn't all that pissed with Hefner leaving for Atlanta is I'm just curious to see what he does with that pitching core under Walt Weiss.
Yeah, well, we'll see, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I remember Walt Weiss as a player. I could see him being a really good manager too.
I mean, as a kid, I vaguely remember Weiss playing in
San Diego.
I remember him starting in Colorado.
Let's see. Walt Weiss.
True, most of his career was spent in Atlanta.
Oh wow, I was dead. I was way off. Where? I don't know where. So he's drafted by the Orioles.
Okay.
A's. Dude, he was just like every baseball player there. They fucking drafted and then they go everywhere.
So he got drafted by the Orioles in what year?
I guess he got traded. Hold on. 10th round at 82 draft. Oh no, then he went back to school. And 12th pick for the A's.
In the
87. Looks like 80. No, wait. 82, 84. He played. 85. How many times was this effing guy drafted? Yeah, his major league debut was with the A's.
From 87 to 92. Then he went. Oh, he was an OG Marlin in 93. Okay. Then he got shipped out to Colorado for about 4 years. And then he played his last 3 in Atlanta.
Why did I think he was in San Diego?
Probably would have been from his time in Colorado. Still,
Yeah,
I'm not sure
Marlins,
what.
Rockies, Braves.
I'm gonna say it. Atlanta's not gonna have a good opening year under Weiss. I mean, you look at his track record as a manager in Colorado.
Hey, I'm okay with that. Well, his old managerial record is terrible. Right?
Yeah, I mean, the best he ever did was the 2016 season, 75 and 87.
Why would you hire a manager that's never won?
Because he's a legacy Brave.
I guess. But like, I don't know.
Basically, the whole nepotism take.
Yeah, but like the guy hasn't won, is proven at the major league level he can't win. Versus like Aaron, like not to say he's going to do anything anyway, but like Aaron Glenn, who's hasn't proven anything as a head coach for the like legacy hire, right? Like similarly, like I don't know.
Or like how stupidly the New York Knicks hired legacy-wise, even though basically it was Dolan getting fleeced for president of basketball operations, Phil Jackson, a man whose first move as executive was to fucking sign a crack addict Lamar Odom.
He knew the triangle though.
But the problem is that overcommitted to the triangle was archaic, antiquated, and tactically tunnel vision.
Yeah, but hey, listen, that's called groupthink at its finest. So what are you gonna do? Mets, I gotta run. This was fun, man.
Well, I'm done for tonight's OTD.
Oh, good. If you want to come back on tomorrow we're doing call-ins at 7 for Saturday night's main event preview.
Fine by me.
Later, buddy.
Later.
Catch you later.
Speaking of which, seeing as how no one else wants to come on, no matter how many people I sent links to, comment, like, and subscribe. That's it for tonight's OTD episode of On the Diamond. I'm Mets2128. Goodbye and good fucking night. Bang. Stearns, you're under the gun with me. You screw this up, neck to noose.